launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Thursday, April 14th, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Now that we're halfway through April, we're starting to hit the point where people are getting excited about the New York Pro, which is only about 5 or 6 weeks away at this point. And depending on who you ask, this year's show feels like it has a little bit more juice to it now that we know that Sadiq Hadzovic is going to be in the building. If you've been following this prep, one of the things that should be jumping off the screen every time you see him is the way he's grown into the show, because that's not something we see on a regular basis from, well, regular guys. For whatever reason, this time around it feels like Sadiq is just letting his body do what it wants to do naturally, and as you can see, the results speak for themselves. So, if his conditioning is where it needs to be, there's no reason why we shouldn't think about him as a serious threat to bring home the win. Have you ever heard someone say that you need to win the day? Because if you've been watching Samson Dauda over the last month or so, you know that he's single-handedly trying to take that whole win the day thing about 10 notches. Because this guy is stacking wins on top of wins right now. In case you missed it a few days ago, Samson's team posted this new mid-season update that showed him tipping the scales at over 300 pounds, which would seem crazy in and of itself if you're just going by the number on the scale, let alone the level of detail and separation you can see on him on a daily basis. After the 2 strong back-to-back outings he had at the Arnold and the Boston Pro to start the season, you heard a lot of big names talking about Samson as someone who might be ready to make a jump up to the next level. And if he can put together a few more months like this before he jumps into his Olympia prep, all of those people singing praises are going to look pretty damn good come December once he shows up and drops the hammer. And we're closing things out today by checking in with your reigning and defending Bikini Olympia champ, Jennifer Dorie, who still looks like she's ready to step on stage at a moment's notice. If you follow this division, then you'll probably notice the trend that we've seen develop over the last few years of top athletes in this division hitting this super high peak. It becomes really hard to sustain, which is one of the reasons why we see so much turnover at the top. So when you think about her decision to stay out of the Arnold and focus on recovery and improvement and not put so much wear and tear on her body, well, in some ways, it almost feels like it could be a cheat code to unlock championship longevity. So if she does come back and hit it even higher this year, don't be surprised. If you were lucky enough to be in the building at the Jay Cutler Classic, then you got your money's worth at the night show because Hunter Labrada hit the stage as one of the featured guest posers. One of the interesting things about this video is that if you compare it to the last time we saw him guest pose at the Utah Cup a few weeks ago, you can see that he looks like he's added a few extra pounds, which is exactly what he said he was going to do when he laid out his off-season plan back in January. So I guess in that sense, everything is on plan as it should be. And if the end goal for him is to finish this year ranked inside the top 3, then it looks like he's well on his way towards making that happen. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.